And this is Diane from Teach Pre-K, and today I want to share with you my gingerbread literacy activities, and I've got a ton of them. What I'm going to show you is in my gingerbread lesson plan, and I'll leave the link in the description. But honestly, I have so many gingerbread activities that you might want to do a little exploring. So if you go to my Teachers Pay Teacher store, on the left-hand side, I have categories. And I think you can click on gingerbread or click on holidays, and it will direct you to all of them. And there are so many. I don't even think I have all of them here today. But I will start with some tried and true little favorites. So I have, oh my gosh, you guys, I have so much stuff. I have these little letter houses, and I made these, you guys, probably 10 years ago. I have these little houses, and my whole lesson plan has been updated. So a lot of the fonts and frames and stuff are going to be a little bit different. But I've got these houses that have every letter of the alphabet. And the idea is to draw a card with a letter on it and cover the letter. Now, I like to use clear buttons so we can still see the letter. They're like cute little shapes and colors. Or you can use these cute little gingerbread men. I'll leave the link to these too because I use these for math. I use these for my sensory bin. I do counting stuff at circle time with these. I also, at the end of the week, give everybody a little gingerbread man to put in their pocket and take home, and they could die. They love it so much. But I'm going to show you. I also have these in black and white, you guys, in both uppercase and lowercase. Ta-da! So I have in my packet here, I've got two different sets of letter cards. I have upper and lower letter case cards with this cute little gingerbread man. But I also have these smaller ones with the actual letters on the candies, and they correspond to the color of gumdrop. So that kind of helps them. I'll say, okay, remember, it's on a yellow gumdrop, and they will find the letter. So let me show you. See, our letter E is on a yellow gumdrop, just like that. So that kind of helps them find it. But this is a great letter identification activity. For my 3-year-olds, I wouldn't do the whole alphabet. I would do, make sure I had the first letter of everybody's name, and then all the letters that we have gone through on our own, like doing our letter of the week activities and stuff. Because I know that they know those, or they have at least been exposed enough to those that it's going to be easier for them to find them. So you guys, do you see that I said letter of the week? But I am also doing an activity where I am teaching the alphabet holistically. So that is my method. Highlight one, teach the whole. So a lot of people are really down on letter of the week, but I think it really depends on how you incorporate it. Another thing I do is I'll read the gingerbread man story, and I have sequencing cards. And right now I've got them on this little binder ring, right? So we've got man and woman make gingerbread man. Gingerbread man hops out of the oven and runs away. He meets the pig. He meets the cow. He meets the horse. He gets to the river. There's the fox. He gets taken for a ride, and at the end, he gets eaten. So I will disconnect this, and we will reconstruct the story. And one way I can do this is during circle time, I can hand a card to everybody, and then we can stand up. Like I'll have 2 groups of kids. First group comes up, we rearrange the story in the right order. They sit down. Second group comes up, we do the same thing. I can do this as just a center, or we can do it as a whole class, like which comes first. And we can line them up, or, you know, just put them back together in the book like this. But I have made 2 sets because I also like to put one out for the kids to just do on their own, because they actually, after they do it in either whole group or small group centers, they like to go do it themselves. Another activity that I have that's kind of fun it's just letter matching, you guys. I've got gingerbread houses with lowercase letters, whoops, and I have gingerbread kids with uppercase letters. So that it would just be like match the gingerbread kid to the house. And again, you don't want it to be this, we have to do so many letters. You know, you want to make it so that they enjoy it, right? So do maybe half the alphabet, or like I said, first letters in everyone's name, and the letters that you've learned. Another thing I have, and these are actually pretty large size upper and lowercase letter clips, so you're getting the letter identification and fine motor. So look at the big one, clip the small one that matches. And believe it or not, you guys, I always think, oh, such a boring activity. Add clothespins to anything, and for some reason, it becomes fun. So I'm going to show you, I've got this foldable book. So this is just gingerbread, gingerbread boy, gingerbread girl, gingerbread house, gingerbread friends. So they color it, and then it makes a little foldable coloring book that they can take home, read to their family. This center, sometimes I just put out for the kids that just love to color, and they'll just have a little table with some crayons or some markers where they can do this activity on their own, or I'll do it as a center. I also, in my cute little Teachers Pay Teachers store, I have a gingerbread alphabet. I thought this was it, but it is not. It is on my wall right now in my classroom, so you will see it. This is just another letter match activity. I've got the houses, and this time with lowercase letters for the little kids. So kind of the same activity. I think this is in a different unit than my lesson plan, so that's why I'm saying explore around. I have so many activities. This one I know for sure is in my Gingerbread Man close read that has tons of activities to do with the Gingerbread Man. But this is like a spot it game. This is called, I call it See It Match It because I don't want to take their copyright. But it's the one where you look at the two cards and you have to say like what the thing is that matches. And it's like, it's the bowl of dough. And then you can go to the next thing. I found the algorithm online to make this set. There is one of them that is incorrect, and it is not my fault. It is the algorithm's fault because I followed it perfectly and checked and double checked. But once you find it, you just take it out of the deck and throw it away because I know I've done that. Another thing I've got, you guys, is just vocabulary cards that each have a match so that you can play a vocabulary matching game. Or it also has all the characters in the Gingerbread Man, and I'm probably going to be flipping these up a million times. So run, fox, old man, run again, girl, because you might read the Gingerbread Girl, right? Horse, sheep, boy, house, pig, girl again. Anyway, you guys, I like to use these to play a memory matching game. And there's so many different ways to play. It really depends on the level where your kids are. If you have 3-year-olds and you have them all face down, it's not going to go well. If you put out maybe 6 face down, hand them a card and allow them to flip over until they get their match, that's a great way to play. And while you're doing that, you can say, oh, he's in the gingerbread story, but that's not the one we want, or whatever. Another thing that I've got is the rhyming pairs game. Rhyme, not a rhyme, happy gingerbread guy, sad gingerbread guy. And you guys, I know that my activities repeat. That is by design. it is by design. They get more and more successful. Every activity comes with an assessment sheet so you can keep track. Where were they 3 months ago in a rhyming game? How many rhyming pairs did they guess correctly? You know, how many do they have correct now? Gosh, this kid couldn't rhyme 2 months ago. Look, they can actually discover rhymes now. But again, I've got as many gingerbread themed pictures as I can get in here. Like that's dough and moon. I want fox box. He's in the gingerbread story. And I think the house for house mouse is a gingerbread house. But oh, I really want to find that pie. Oh, I should have. I used a regular house. Anyway, I love rhyming pairs game because we can really isolate the sounds with these. We can look at the pictures and say the words together and decide, do they sound similar? We teach so much beginning sounds. The kids have to really shift gears and really listen to the ending sounds instead of just the beginning sounds. And it's a great activity for them. And as I said, the first time you do an activity like this, it might go over like a lead balloon, like my mom used to say. But the more you do it, the better they become at these activities. And it's great. It's just great to see as a teacher. Okay, another thing I have is I have puzzles. Letter sound matching puzzles. So if it's a cow, I'm going to look for a C. And of course, that wasn't right here. I've got Y for yogurt. Ta-da! And you guys, they're all the same puzzle. So you really, really, they are not self-correcting. You really have to be there with the kids. You really have to be making the letter sounds with them to find the matching letter for the beginning sound. I like to do self-correcting because then what you find is the actual sound, like nothing else is going to work. But this is a great one to just do as a group. Because like if you did it as a group, you could give the class letters and you could hold this one and you could go cow, cow, cow. What letter makes that sound? I'm seeing its beginning letter is a C. So then we're doing this big letter identification thing and we are going to match it with that cow. I think that's the best way to do that activity is to do it in a whole group. I also have letter sounds mats. And I have these cute gingerbread letters to go with it. So yeah, got like apron is A. We'll find the B for book, C for cow, D for dough. As many of these that I can make like gingerbread or kind of cute little holiday theme. I have done that, or I've used the animal. This is run for R. For X, I've used the ending sound in fox. Fox. Because xylophone makes no sense to kids who are learning letter sounds. But I like this game a lot because they get the mats and we work on them together. And you can do the whole alphabet because the mats all have 4 letters on them except for the last 2, which just has 2. I'm trying to see what else I've got here. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is the best. Okay, the gingerbread man loose in the school is a must for gingerbread week. I have in my lesson plan a little gingerbread man that you can cut out, and he is our class gingerbread man. I work with my teacher down the hall, and he goes missing. Like, we get to know him all week, and then all of a sudden the kids notice he's not there. We say hi to him every morning, and he loves being part of our class. And then one morning, he's not there. And if you've read the story, they put up missing posters all over the school. So guess what we do? We color missing posters, and this is included in my lesson plan. And the fun thing is I will give him to my teacher down the hall, and she keeps him for a couple of days, and then she goes, "Oh, you guys, I saw your posters. Look who I found." So they think, oh my gosh, she saw the posters and she found our gingerbread man, and they are so excited to have him back in our classroom at the end of the week. So you guys, there is a sampling of what I have on offer for Gingerbread Week. I have so much more than this, and I have so many craft projects that are also literacy projects that I will show in my next video with crafts and games. But I will leave links to these little guys and my gingerbread lesson plan, but I encourage you just to see what else I have in my Teachers Pay Teacher store. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good week.